money there. In other words, he's not a casual observer. He's deeply invested financially and ideologically in an AI-driven future. So it is possible that he's used overstatement to make a point that also suits his overall business interests. But you see, the atmosphere is already volatile. Just 5 days ago, TCS shares fell to 5.5-year low. TCS just collapsed. And across India's IT corridors, there is a growing paranoia. Will automation hollow out all services? Will AI wipe out all jobs? Are entry-level jobs all at risk? So when a prominent AI investor like Khosla says that IT and BPO sector will disappear, it amplifies that panic.
Ma'am, what are the...
investigation is going on in the corporate.
See, you can currently see the AIB officials, some officials have come out of the office. So what are the angles you are probing? Sir, ma'am, what are the angles that you are probing in the incident?
We are in process.
Sir, can you please tell us something about the incident?
I will come back, surely.
Sir, we are reaching outside. Can you please tell us?
I will come back. I am giving you guarantee I will come back.
Hello and welcome. You're watching This Is Exclusive with me, Shavinson. Tonight on This Is Exclusive, we put the focus on an aviation mess that we are witnessing unfolding before us. Not just that, a 6-year-old boy who's battling for his life in Noida. All this and much more in this edition, but first let me take you to the headlines we're tracking at this hour. In another aviation mess, 7 on board killed in a deadly air ambulance crash in Jharkhand, probe underway. Redbird was flagged in court for bribery during tender process, fraud and corruption. After Bulandshahr tragedy where Reyansh was shot during a Celebratory fire, Reyansh is currently in critical condition, in coma and on ventilator support. After wedding gunfire tragedy, shooter and his father on the run. A team of the DGCA is in fact investigating the spot where an air ambulance crashed last night, killing all 7 people on board. In fact, the team is collecting all evidence from the wreckage to carry out further investigation. 7 people have died, and once again another aviation firm has now come under the scanner. The company operating the air ambulance was flagged for corruption and fraud. From the preliminary investigation that has been carried out, it appears that the engine of this particular chartered aircraft was recovered 200 meters away from the crash site, an indication that perhaps the engine had separated mid-air. In fact, it also raises questions about the maintenance, is what we are given to understand. We are also going to take our viewers through the details that is basically emerging with regards to this particular company that was operating the air ambulance, empaneled by the Jharkhand government. In fact, Redbird was in fact flagged. There is a Delhi High Court notice that was basically issued. The court had flagged off misrepresentation and misconduct as far as on part of the officials who were basically running this particular company. In fact, Delhi High Court had basically raised concerns about a conflict of interest. It seems that despite that, there was no action that was taken by the DGCA. The air ambulance crash that has taken place, and from the information that we do have in our possession, is that questions are being raised as far as the maintenance of the aircraft is concerned. It turns out that the engine perhaps would have separated mid-air, resulting in the situation that you see unfolding before our eyes. That's the wreckage of the aircraft. On board were 7 people, including 1 patient. In fact, if we can just take our viewers through that image that we had accessed of the patient being brought inside the aircraft. This was the last picture, hoping that he would be able to leave from Ranchi and land in Delhi for further medical attention. In fact, some questions were actually asked by our reporters on the ground when the AAIB officials reached the office of Redbird in the national capital. They refused to face the camera and denied to answer the questions. I just want to show you this particular picture. This picture that we got to our newsroom just late last night, moments after the crash. This was just moments before that when he was taken inside the aircraft. The patient here who had burn injuries and had paid almost 8 lakhs for this particular air ambulance and was hoping that for further medical treatment he would be taken to the national capital. The flight took off around 7 o'clock in the evening, and around 7:37 is when the crash had taken place. Take a look when these pertinent questions were actually asked by my colleague earlier today to the AIB officials, who refused to face the camera and denied to answer any of our questions.
What they have probed till now, and the owner of this airways is currently in Jharkhand, and we will give you the live updates. You can see the office is currently opening, the shutter is opening, so we will show you who comes outside and we'll try to have a word with him. Sir, क्या investigation का part है?
पता नहीं है मेरे को।
Sir, किस ऑफिस?
अरे मेरे को नहीं पता, चाय पीनी है तो बताओ, मैं चाय पिलाने वाला हूँ ऑफिस में, मेरे को नहीं मालूम।
See, the office shutter is half open. We'll try to get in and talk to the officials of this AAIB. They're not letting us open this shutter. Sir, क्या क्या इन्वेस्टिगेशन का पार्ट है सर?
सर प्लीज, अभी चल रही है इन्वेस्टिगेशन AIB अंदर, प्लीज सर गिव अस
क्या क्या
टाइम। सर इट्स द breach of security, sir, please. I can't say anything right now. I can't say anything, sir. I can't say anything right now. Investigation is in progress.
What are the possible angles which you are probing? So why are you running away from our answers?
They are calling me, sir. They are asking for the documents. Please,
Sir,
please.
can you please tell us what are the
I will tell you everything. Give me 5 minutes. I will tell you everything. Give me 5 minutes only, please.
Sir, any update?
I will update you. Give me 5 to 10 minutes. I'm here only. Okay.
Sir, आपको क्या पता इन्वेस्टिगेशन के बारे में?
हमें कुछ नहीं पता भैया, मुझे कुछ नहीं पता।
सर,
आजो भी
क्या
हमारा
officials किस चीज को
भैया कुछ
investigate
नहीं
कर
पता हमें इस चीज़ के बारे में, मुझे नहीं पता सर।
कुछ एंगल आपको पता है कि कैसे हुआ इंसिडेंट?
नहीं मुझे कुछ नहीं पता भैया।
क्या एयरक्राफ्ट फिट था फ्लाई करने के लिए?
पता नहीं भैया इस बारे में, कोई मैं ऑथराइज पर्सन वही देंगे जो भी होंगे, हमें नहीं पता कुछ।
सर बट आप यहाँ के ऑफिशियल है, आपको पता
नहीं
होगा
मैं
कि
ऑफिशियल नहीं हूँ,
कैसे
मैं ऑफिशियल
एयरक्राफ्ट
नहीं
फिट था,
हूँ। आई एम नॉट ऑफिशियल।
सर आप ऑफिस में आप काम कर रहे हैं, आपको तो पता ही होगा।
मैं भैया वो काम नहीं करता ना, मेरा कुछ और काम है, होटल में काम करता हूँ मैं नीचे।
Actually, currently the AIB officials are coming outside the office. Ma'am, what are the...
Investigation is going on. We cooperate. Yes, sir.
See, you can currently see the AIB officials. Some officials have come out of the office. So, what are the angles you are probing, sir? Ma'am, what are the angles that you are probing in the incident?
We are in process.
Sir, can you please tell us something about the incident?
I will come back. I will come back surely.
Sir, we are reaching outside. Okay, can you please tell us?
I will come back. I am giving you guarantee. I will come back.
सर मैं चीफ ऑफ फ्लाइट सेफ्टी हूँ, कैप्टन मोहिंदर कौर। और सर हमें भी बहुत दुख है, फैमिलीज़ को अभी हम खुद ही शॉक में हैं कि ये क्या हो गया, क्योंकि हम तो लाइफ सेव करने ही गए थे किसी की। और ये एम्बुलेंस फ्लाइट थी, जो हमारा एक सेगमेंट था बिल्कुल ठीक गया है, फ्लाइट बिल्कुल सही गई है, और वापस आते समय भी कोई एयरक्राफ्ट में डिफेक्ट्स नहीं थे। पायलट्स दोनों ही कैपेबल पायलट्स थे और एक्सपीरियंस पायलट्स थे। जो फैमिलीज़ हैं और जो पैसेंजर्स जिनकी डेथ हो गई है, उनके लिए रेडबर्ड की तरफ से कंडोलेंसेस हैं हम दे रहे हैं उनको। एंड वी आर रियली शॉक्ड. और इन्वेस्टिगेशन अभी हो रही है, हमें भी नहीं पता कि क्या हुआ है. इन्वेस्टिगेशन चल रही है. इन्वेस्टिगेशन एजेंसीज आई थी, उन्होंने अपना सामान जो सीज करना था करके वो चले गए हैं.
My colleague Harsha, who's been investigating this entire matter, is joining us from the Kolkata newsroom. Harsha, you've gone through the papers of this particular company. It turns out that the Delhi High Court had issued a notice against the owners of the company saying that there is a conflict of interest and there were charges of bribery. What's the current status of that very case?
So, Shavan, they tried to take a tender of the Airport Authority of India, by bribing the aircraft carrier. And there's a rule and norm in the tender taking in the Airport Authority of India tenders. You can't be directly or indirectly linked with any aircraft carriers who are directly the part of the entities and are the bidders in that particular tender. Now, they did hide the shareholders and directors which had common interest in buying the tender of the Airport Authority of India, and it came to the light of Airport Authority of India that how they gave the bribe and they were involved in the malpractice to get these tenders of Airport Authority of India. And on 8 December 2025, there was a Delhi High Court order which clearly stated that there was a conflict of interest, there was a misrepresentation, and therefore why they should not be barred. They were barred from taking the tenders of the Airport Authority of India. And with the history of the company doesn't have a very good history of taking tenders of the government bodies, and therefore they were barred from all the tender takings of the Airport Authority of India, not only for that tender but in the future tendering as well. So the malpractice was found in this Redbird Airways private limited company, and the history doesn't seem to be very good, and therefore a lot of questions, Shawan, are also rising that how did they get their license of the DGCA for the medical service. Right now this company doesn't have an long experience of a medical service company. As a medical service company, the owner is an aircraft engineer. The company came into inception in 2018, and 2 years after launching their company, 2022, they got the license from the DGCA of carrying helicopters for domestic uses, and also for the medical service charter license they also got from DGCA. How they got this license? Was there any manipulation? Did they get it through some other means? Was there a reference involved in it? By what source or means they have received these licenses? This is also being investigated and will be investigated, because a high-level meeting today is being chaired by Ram Mohan Naidu, Civil Aviation Minister. All these loopholes are, investigating agency AIB is trying to find out. That's the reason 3 stack of boxes have been collected today from the Redbird Airways Private Limited offices, and also Akshay Kumar is nowhere to be found. He has not been grilled by the investigating agencies till now. His phone is, not reachable. He's not picking up the phone. He was not in his office, and also the investigating agencies have also issued a notice to the employees of the company for Akshay Kumar, who is the main promoter and founder of the Redbird Airways Private Limited. We have got to know that each and every loophole is being investigated in this company, that how did they receive the license from the DGCA, what were the officials who were the officials in the year of 2022 who gave the license, and whether the company maintained the quality checks which are the CAR aviation norms. Did they fulfill all those norms to get the license or not? These all aspects are being investigated right now, Shawan. The latest information which we have received from the meeting, top sources of the high-level meeting which is being chaired by the minister. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Harsha, for getting us the latest details. A story that we'll be tracking very closely as the investigation is still being carried out. Questions being raised about the maintenance of the aircraft tolls. An 8-year-old child battling for life. Reyansh, who should have been worrying about perhaps his homework and cricket, is instead fighting to breathe after bullets tore through what was meant to be a normal afternoon. And 5 days later, the shooters are still on the run. Republic not only spoke to Reyansh's parents, who narrated their horrific ordeal while hoping for him to get better. We also questioned the police over their lack of sense of emergency in the situation. A statement has also been issued by the hospital where Reyansh is currently admitted and is under ICU observation. The hospital has said that Reyansh has shown signs of clinical improvement, but the bigger question is, where is the justice? Has law and order completely collapsed to the point where children are caught in these celebratory fires, and the accused basically walking free.
This is 8-year-old Reyansh, battling for life in the coma unit. He is struggling to breathe. He went from playing on the roof of a neighbor's house to lying on a hospital bed. While his shooters who brought him in this state remain absconding.
अधिकार नहीं है ना।
वो परिवार वाले बोल रहे हैं कि वो बच्चा 18 साल का था भी नहीं, वो बड़ा है माइनर में।
भाई बोलने का अधिकार, आप वहाँ जाकर जो भी आपके प्रश्न हो वहाँ पे सीओ साहब हैं, आप उनसे
तो आपका बतौर थाना प्रभारी कुछ तो जिम्मेदारी
भाई नहीं बोलने का अधिकार है। आप जाकर के वहाँ जो ऑथेंटिक है वो आप वहाँ जाकर कर सकते हैं। आप मुझ पर दबाव बना रहे हैं।
दबाव सर, मैं अपना काम कर रहा हूँ।
आप काम नहीं कर रहे
सर, जैसे आप अपना काम
लीगल बता रहा हूँ। किसी भी इसको रख लीजिए,
माइक में हाथ मत लगाइए।
नहीं बिल्कुल,
मैं आपसे सवाल मैं आपसे सवाल पूछ रहा हूँ, मेरा काम है सवाल पूछना।
5 days on, Uttar Pradesh police have failed to nab the shooters.
जैसा कि मैंने पहले ही बताया है कि कुछ संभावित स्थान की जानकारी है जिस पे हम लगातार कार्रवाई कर रहे हैं, और इसमें जो है थाना पुलिस टीम के साथ साथ स्वाट टीम भी लगी हुई है, तो हम इसमें निश्चित तौर पे गिरफ्तारी कर लेंगे।
Reyansh's parents, who are hoping for the 8-year-old to get better, narrated to Republic how Reyansh landed up in the hospital. They say the shooters fired about 20 to 25 rounds in celebratory gestures.
जिसमें कि मेरा बेटा ऊपर खड़ा हुआ था, वो प्रोग्राम्स को देख रहा था। तो प्रोग्राम देखते देखते उसने अचानक फायर कर दिया, जो फायर मेरे बेटे के कनपट्टी से होते हुए ऊपर की साइड वो निकला। गन शॉट होने के बाद बेटा मेरा ज़मीन पर गिर गया एक साथ, और ज़मीन पर गिरने के बाद मैं एक साथ उसको डॉक्टर के पास लेके भागा। मैं इतना कंफ्यूज और इतना ऑब्लेस हो गया कि मैं उस बच्चे की कंडीशन को, अपने बेटे की कंडीशन को मैं देख नहीं पाया।
20 से 25 फायरिंग होने के बाद, और इवन इतने छोटे बच्चे को पेरेंट्स ने पिस्टल दी क्यों? वहाँ मौजूद जितने लोग थे सबने यही बोला कि ये हो क्या रहा है कि दोनों बच्चे अपने पिस्टल दोनों बच्चे अपने लगा के घूम रहे हैं। मतलब उनके तो एक खेल हो गया, लेकिन मेरी तो सब जिंदगी ही तबाह हो जाती। तबाह क्या, अभी भी कुछ कहा नहीं जा सकता, बस भगवान से प्रे है कि मेरा बच्चा जल्दी ठीक हो जाए।
The question now, how many more lives will be lost to this gunfire epidemic? How long before we wake up?
Well, in fact, let me now take you through the very place where Reyansh was actually standing when the entire wedding procession was actually taking place and the celebratory firing took place. Take a look at what really happened, and this is what my colleague Harsh got from the place where Reyansh was there.
Now this, viewers, is the very balcony where 8-year-old Reyansh was standing on the day of the tragedy. This is in fact exactly the place where he was standing. He was peeping outside the balcony, and shots were fired from underneath this balcony, and that one of these celebratory shots struck Reyansh, and now his condition remains to be critical. We in fact have the CCTV footage of the incident where these guys can be seen firing celebratory shots on the very day, and Reyansh's father rushing him to the hospital. It can all be seen in a CCTV footage that we have with us. Now this is the balcony where Reyansh was standing. His condition remains to be critical. He is now undergoing treatment for his critical injuries. He remains in coma. He remains on ventilator. He is on life support system. But the tragedy continues because the cops from the Uttar Pradesh police have failed to trace down the culprits, and they in fact have failed to seize the weapon that was used in these celebratory shots that were fired that later struck Reyansh, and now his condition remains critical as he undergoes treatment for the same.
Let me also bring in my colleague Rakshita, who's reporting from the hospital where Reyansh is battling for his life. Rakshita, did you manage to speak to the hospital authorities, and what's the last medical bulletin?
Well, we spoke to the parents just a while back. I think an hour ago. They were there speaking to the doctors itself. So they were doctors. The entire team was completely occupied with the parents of Reyansh. And then when they came outside, they spoke to us right away around 5:45 to 6, and they spoke. They told us that he is still under observation. He is critical, and for the past 5 days he has been on ventilator support. That they have. That he continues to be on ventilator support, and it's expected that for the next 2 to 3 days also he will need the life support system, as it is a very, very critical injury. You know, the bullets had in fact tore through his jaw, so you know, it has broken one part of the skull also, what we are understanding. So this is a very, very grievous injury that the young 5-year-old innocent boy is right now battling for, and it's very difficult for them to remove the ventilator support, is what we are getting to know. As per what the doctors have told the parents, they have tried to test him if he can take the air in the room, but it's very, very difficult for the child. It's a very, very young child, of course. He's a minor, he's a 5-year-old, and for him to battle with these such grievous injuries it's very, very difficult. And what we understand is that there has been no update as far as the action on the father and the son, the duo who are the accused in this case. There's no update on them. They're still on the run, and even the parents are saying that the police only tells them that there have been raids conducted in different places, but to no avail, no success as far as finding those accused, because the parents are they're completely broken right now. They're very, very disturbed. They have been running around the hospital to take care of their children. They only have one son, they have one daughter who is back home, and they are worried for their child. Only the parents are here right now, and they are extremely worried. They do not even have right now the capacity to think about who is in fact behind this. But yes, they are full of anger, and they want that those behind this should be severely punished. And in fact, as this is a gunfire epidemic, as we are calling it, this in fact has been a case of several deaths in the past in states like UP, Bihar, Delhi and NCR, where celebratory gunfire, the so-called celebratory gunfire, has claimed several lives. Shravan.
Thank you very much, Rakshita, for getting us the latest report. Let me also go across to my colleague Harsh, who's joining us from Bulandshahr. Harsh, the biggest question here is that the accused is on the run. A narrative was built that they are minors, but it seems that the family members, the victims' family members, have made a claim that they are not minors to begin with. What is it that the police has found so far? What is taking the police so long?
Well, right, Shravan, the biggest breakthrough, in fact, that we have got through in this case earlier this afternoon is the fact that Reyansh's uncle has maintained that he suspects that the accused, who is being considered as a minor, might not be a minor in reality, and he wants the authorities to investigate the matter from that angle as well. In fact, we also managed to talk to the SP City, who has said that special teams are now investigating the matter, and in fact a manhunt has been launched to get both of these father-son duo caught. In fact, the whole family is absconding at this point. The house where they used to live here in Bulandshahr is locked. The police is saying that they have launched a manhunt. However, no big breakthrough can be seen. Neither the weapon that was used, which is said to be a licensed pistol.
Just a quick question before I let you go, Harsh, with regards to the weapons, whether at all they have been recovered so far, and more importantly, the police still unable to trace the current location.
Well, right, Shravan, they have not yet managed to recover the weapon. Now, remember, this is a licensed pistol that has not been recovered at this point. Police has clearly said that this weapon has not been recovered, at least at this point, and they have continued to maintain that they have launched a manhunt for the father-son duo. However, they have not yet managed to recover the weapon, which is said to be a licensed pistol. However, they have completely failed to recover it, and this is the day 4 from the incident.
Thank you very much, Harsh, for getting us that report from Bulandshahr. The accused in the case still on the run. Getting in some more breaking news right up. Prime Minister Modi is likely to visit Deepam site in Madurai on 1st of March. The visit is amidst a protracted struggle being waged by the temple authorities against the DMK government in Tamil Nadu that denies Hindus right to light the lamp of Sanatan on the hills despite the High Court orders. Let me also go across to my colleague Sharda, who's joining us on this broadcast. Sharda, what more details are you picking up with regards to the Prime Minister's visit? Because it seems that the BJP has been working perhaps to put the spotlight back on what they believe as an attempt that has been made by the DMK to put it on side burner.
Right, Shobhan. Last time when Prime Minister Narendra Modi came here on the 1st of February doing NDA rally in the state of Tamil Nadu in Chennai and Maduranthakam, it was earlier said that he was going to visit Madurai, but at that time, for safety concerns, the BJP officials had kept the meeting in Chennai. Now, with Prime Minister Narendra Modi set to visit Madurai on on March 1st for the NDA second rally after the huge announcement was made by Piyush Goyal, the election in charge of the state. Now, in Madurai, a rally and a state setup for the entire NDA meeting is going to be set up, following which Prime Minister Narendra Modi is set to visit the Tirupurakunram Devi, going up the hill, or he'll just be visiting the temple at the bottom of the hill, the Murugan temple at the bottom of the hill. And also, Prime Minister Narendra Modi often visits Madurai Meenakshi Amman temple, so it's expected that he'll be reaching Chennai on February 28th, following which on the 1st he'll be taking a chopper to Madurai, visiting both the temples, the two famous temples from the south of India, following which Narendra Modi also has multiple visits planned throughout the month, in the month of March, for the NDA rallies to happen in the state of Tamil Nadu. At least 5 times Prime Minister Narendra Modi would be here leading the NDA rally and the meetings before the elections are into place. We know that the elections are just 2 months away, and the BJP is trying to make sure that whatever the DMK is leaving out, especially for the Hindus that they cover.
Thank you very much for getting us the latest details. That's all that we could pack in this edition of This Is Exclusive. Coming up, trending on the other side.
Co-powered by Century Ply Club Prime. Raho befikar.
प्योर सूजी पास्ता उबालो मिलाओ और खाओ
8 मिनट में तैयार
क्या टेस्ट है सबका राजा हार्डकोर मसाला
13,000 placements last year. At Amity, we are committed to nurturing passionate, hardworking and proactive professionals.
अब छोलिया हो या लोबिया, सफेद चने या काले चने,
सबको मजेदार बने।
मुस्कुराए लड़खड़ाए जिंदगी चाहे जो भी हो।
सर, पेशेंट के लिए कौन सा रूम प्रेफर करेंगे आप?
जिंदगी भर के प्यार का कोई रेट कार्ड नहीं होता। टाटा AIG हेल्थ इंश्योरेंस, विद यू लाइक फैमिली, विद यू ऑलवेज।
थोड़े में ज्यादा स्वाद, यही तो है इसकी खास बात। वाओ मामा, क्या स्वाद है? अरे मेरे राजा,
राजा और प्योर मसाला।
अरे टेंशन किस बात की? सेंचुरी प्रोवुड का प्रीमियम प्लस है ना, लो एमिशन है, हाई डेंसिटी है, वाटर रेजिस्टेंट भी, टर्माइट एंड बोरो रेजिस्टेंट भी है। यानी ये है जहां नो टेंशन वहां।
प्रीमियम प्लस बाय सेंचुरी प्रोवुड।
ये है सीक्रेट रेसिपी MDH का जीरा सिप जल जीरा मसाला। सिप सिप जीरा सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप जीरा सिप MDH का जल जीरा सिप।
The AI summit is on. The focus is even more on AI, and with this talk of AI boom, jobs going, Vinod Khosla has made a comment which has created further panic in a panic-stricken environment. In my view, not necessary. He's a well-known tech billionaire and venture capitalist. He says IT and BPO services will completely disappear over the next 5 years. And then he says something as prophetic as all jobs will disappear in 50 years. Now, this is not an offhand remark. Vinod Khosla is the founder of Khosla Ventures, established 2004, deep investments in AI, sustainability, medicine, and other technologies. He was also an early backer of OpenAI, and he made a lot of money there. In other words, he's not a casual observer. He's deeply invested financially and ideologically in an AI-driven future. So it is possible that he's used overstatement to make a point that also suits his overall business interests. But you see, the atmosphere is already volatile. Just 5 days ago, TCS shares fell to 5.5 years.
Justice for Reyansh, a Republic campaign. Reyansh in coma, shooters on the run. Debating tonight at 8 p.m.
सीधा सवाल मेरा आपसे है, ये बताइए कितने लोग इसमें इन्वॉल्व थे और आप लोगों की क्या भूमिका रही है इसमें? क्या सवाल सर ये 30 नहीं, ये बताइए 3 लोग जो आपने सस्पेंड किए गए लोग, उन लोगों के नाम बताइए आपने, कौन वो लोग थे जिनको सस्पेंड किया गया?
ऑथराइज नहीं हो बोलने के लिए।
अच्छा, उसके साथ बताइए क्या थर्ड पार्टी भी इन्वॉल्व है इसमें? थर्ड पार्टी भी इन्वॉल्व है इसमें क्या? क्योंकि पैसा इसमें गया है 590 करोड़। क्या पैसा
सर आपको चोट लग जाएगी?
पैसा इन्वॉल्व है क्या इसमें? आप बताइए। थर्ड पार्टी रिपब्लिक टीवी सवाल पूछ रहा है आपसे, आप बताइए क्या इसमें और लोग भी इन्वॉल्व है क्या?
Can't tackle killer death traps. The crane of death returns. Debating tonight at 8:30.
Hello and welcome. You're watching Trending on Republic. I am Ishita Mitra. We've got a lot of stories lined up for you ahead that have created a buzz on the internet. Now, starting with how Ranveer Singh has been pulled up by the Karnataka High Court in the Kantara mimicry row. The court said one is not above law, one cannot hurt the public sentiments, at the same time directing the Bengaluru police to not take coercive action against the actor. Now, we also discuss how the fate of Kerala's Story 2 remains uncertain. The court has now asked for a screening to be scheduled before the release of the movie, but the makers here remain adamant. And at the last, we also discuss how one can never make their critics happy. And joining us on the list is Donald Trump. He says even if he finds a cure for cancer, his critics will never be happy. All that and more lined up for you ahead in the show Trending.